Okay, so today we're going to embark on a truly fascinating journey, a deep dive into the very architecture of your mind, exploring a path to wisdom that is as ancient as it is profoundly relevant to our modern, often chaotic world. Imagine, if you will, that you're sitting in a serene, sun-drenched library, perhaps nestled amidst the quiet cloisters of a forgotten university, the air thick with the scent of old parchment and the silent wisdom of centuries of inquiry. You can almost feel the tangible presence of ancient thinkers who sought truth not through external rituals or emotional surges, but through rigorous introspection and unyielding clarity of thought. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with information, opinions, and distractions, often leaving us overwhelmed, confused, and disconnected from our deepest selves. So, take a deep clarifying breath. Let the external noise begin to recede, and prepare to discover how Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge and wisdom, can be powerfully understood and practiced by modern minds, especially through the practical, rational lens of Stoicism, cultivating a profound intellectual freedom that is both deeply discerning and unshakably tranquil. The concept of self-inquiry in Jnana Yoga isn't merely philosophical rumination. It's a direct, uncompromising, spiritual discipline, a dynamic pathway to realizing the ultimate non-dual reality of Brahman by systematically dismantling all illusions. Long before Descartes, Vedic seers were asking, "Who am I?" as the central, most vital inquiry of existence, believing profound self-inquiry could purify the intellect and lead to liberation. The Upanishads are replete with dialogues designed to strip away layers of illusion, leading to the core truth of being. Archaeologists recently unearthed ancient clay tablets detailing strict rules for jnana practitioners, emphasizing inquiry should lead to ethical conduct and compassion, believing true knowledge transformed one's character. One intriguing inscription describes a legendary sage who, through continuous self-inquiry, became so detached from his body, he could endure extreme conditions without complaint. Historians still debate whether his detachment was truly spiritual or merely extreme stoic endurance. This profound reverence for relentless self-inquiry, expressed through right understanding, was seen as the most direct path to spiritual liberation. For the Stoics, while not speaking of self-inquiry in the mystical sense, their core principles reveal a striking parallel, their rigorous emphasis on self-awareness and rational introspection as the ultimate means to achieve virtue and eudaimonia. This wasn't blind adherence, but constant vigilant examination of one's own judgments, impressions, and internal responses. Believing, understanding, and correcting thoughts was the sole pathway to inner freedom. Their self-inquiry was an unwavering commitment to aligning their inner world with logos, universal reason, discerning truth from falsehood, and control from non-control. You might feel a subtle resonance, a quiet recognition that placing profound trust in your own rational mind to distinguish reality from illusion and to govern your internal world is a powerful and intellectually robust form of self-mastery. It's like discovering the remote control for your inner peace is in your own hand, through your awareness. Did you know prominent Stoics like Marcus Aurelius kept personal journals filled with daily reflections and challenging questions to scrutinize his thoughts and adherence to principles? It's a bit like a modern productivity guru tracking tasks, but he was tracking his soul's progress. Historians still debate whether his dedication made him a better emperor or simply a very introspective one. This rational self-examination, combined with rigorous logic, was their profound act of liberation. The profound link between Jnana Yoga and Stoicism in cultivating self-inquiry for modern minds and your personal journey. Is that true? Intellectual freedom and profound inner peace emerge when your deepest understanding is grounded in rational self-awareness, critical discernment, and unwavering intellectual honesty. When knowledge is purely theoretical or based on external authority, it can be fragile. When purely emotional, it can lack stability. By integrating Jnana Yoga's radical self-inquiry and pursuit of ultimate truth with Stoicism's disciplined rational introspection, you cultivate a balanced, holistic wisdom that is both deeply insightful and practically applicable. You are becoming a master cartographer of your consciousness, meticulously mapping thoughts and perceptions, discerning true reality from fleeting illusions. A little-known fact is that some advanced Jnana yogis engaged in intense, solitary contemplation for years, not to escape the world, but to exhaust false identifications and conceptual frameworks, leading to a direct experience of truth that transcended intellectual understanding, yet was still a product of rigorous mental discipline. Imagine a philosopher disappearing into a cave for a decade to rewrite his operating system for reality. Historians still debate whether such extreme practices were truly necessary for enlightenment or simply a very intense digital detox. It's about transforming intellectual curiosity into a rigorous yet profoundly liberating exercise in internal purification. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding Jnana Yoga for modern minds begins with the profound realization that a balanced path to wisdom embraces both rigorous self-inquiry and clear-eyed rational discernment. It is the powerful understanding that true intellectual freedom, profound inner peace, and lasting insight are found when your deepest understanding of reality is meticulously explored through self-awareness, intellectually honest inquiry, and an unwavering dedication to living in accordance with the truth you discover. By consistently practicing a form of self-inquiry that is both deeply introspective and intellectually grounded, you cultivate a unique and resilient wisdom that is authentic, personally empowering, and profoundly liberating from illusions. You become a living testament to the harmony of profound spiritual knowledge and clear-eyed reason, your life radiating calm, purposeful clarity. It's about building a foundation of understanding so robust it can withstand any intellectual scrutiny, and so deeply personal it provides an unshakable anchor in a tumultuous world, leading to self-mastery and inner peace that is truly liberating. The ancient sages, whether Hindu Jnana yogis or Roman Stoics, understood this integration of self-inquiry and reason was the essential pathway to true liberation, transforming challenging circumstances into opportunities for growth. As self-inquiry illuminates your mind, you move to discernment, separating real from unreal. This is Jnana Yoga's intellectual sword, cutting through illusion, Maya, to reveal ultimate truth, distinguishing the ephemeral from the eternal, the conditioned self from the true self, Atman. In Stoicism, this translates to rigorously identifying what is within your control, judgments, intentions, responses, versus what is not, external events, thereby stripping external circumstances of their power to disturb your inner peace. Imagine a skilled diamond cutter meticulously revealing a brilliant gem from a rough stone. Your mind, through discernment, becomes that cutter, revealing truth. Ancient Vedic philosophy, particularly Advaita Vedanta, emphasizes viveka, discrimination, as the primary tool for spiritual liberation, arguing true freedom arises from distinguishing self from non-self, permanent from impermanent. There's a fascinating account of philosopher Gaudapada, who, through logical analysis and meditative discernment, argued, "Waking reality is no more real than a dream." Historians still debate whether his insights were intellectual or from direct, spiritual experience. It highlights the profound power of discerning thought. For the Brahmins, especially Jnana Yoga proponents, discernment, separating real from unreal, was their spiritual essence. They believed ignorance, avidya, the inability to distinguish the true eternal self from the ever-changing mind-body complex, caused all suffering. Through systematic neti-neti, not this inquiry, they'd negate all temporary identifications. I am not this body, emotions, thoughts, until only the unchangeable eternal self remained. This relentless intellectual purification was the direct path to self-realization. You might feel a gentle detachment from your thoughts' chatter, recognizing worries stem from mistaking fleeting phenomena for ultimate reality. It's like realizing pond reflections aren't the sky. Peace comes from looking beyond the surface. Did you know ancient Jnana yogis often retreated to solitary caves for years to practice intense discernment, living simply to minimize distractions and maximize internal inquiry? It's a bit like an extreme digital detox for your entire external world. Historians still debate whether this isolation accelerated enlightenment or just produced very socially awkward, albeit insightful sages. This radical dedication to discerning truth from illusion was central to their quest. The profound Stoic parallel to discernment, separating real from unreal, lies in their foundational practice of distinguishing between what is within your absolute control and what is fundamentally not. They taught that true serenity and virtue came from clearly identifying and then utterly disregarding all externals, wealth, reputation, health, death, which are indifferent and beyond your power. Therefore, true wisdom lay in accepting inevitable, external events with profound equanimity, amor fati, love of fate, and diligently focusing all mental energy solely on what is truly yours to command, your judgments, intentions, and responses. This rigorous logical discernment was their primary tool for cultivating apatheia, freedom from disturbance, and living virtuously. You are learning to wield a powerful mental filter, allowing only what is truly relevant and controllable to penetrate. Your inner peace, letting all else pass harmlessly. A little-known fact is that prominent Stoic philosophers engaged in daily prosoche, vigilant attention to thoughts, to challenge false impressions or irrational judgments, actively discerning them from objective reality. Imagine a Roman philosopher meticulously fact-checking his own emotions. Historians still debate whether this constant self-monitoring led to genuine inner peace or simply chronic overthinking. It's a proactive, rational process of filtering reality for clarity and control. The true liberation from embracing discernment. Separating real from unreal is freedom from confusion, mental agitation, and the endless pursuit of external, fleeting objects. When you distinguish permanent from temporary, essential from superficial, you are no longer swayed by emotional turbulence or the world's fickle nature. Your mind becomes a clear, still lake, reflecting truth without distortion, allowing you to act with unparalleled clarity, unwavering purpose, and unshakable inner peace. Your life transforms into a testament to intellectual clarity. You are becoming a master navigator of consciousness, skillfully steering your internal ship through illusion towards truth. It's like realizing most storms are just ripples on the surface and the deep ocean beneath remains eternally calm. The ancient Hindu concept of jnana, or direct knowledge, is not mere understanding but transformative insight gained through precise discernment, leading to the eradication of all ignorance and the direct experience of ultimate reality, your true self. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary sage Yajnavalkya, who through profound philosophical discernment answered complex questions about reality and the self, baffling even learned scholars. Historians still debate whether his answers were truly profound or simply so complex no one dared to argue. It powerfully illustrates how intellectual rigor and spiritual insight converge through discernment. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding Jnana Yoga for modern minds finds its enduring core in the profound practice of discernment, separating real from unreal. It is the powerful, liberating understanding that true intellectual freedom, profound inner peace, and unshakable wisdom stem directly from systematically distinguishing between the eternal, unchanging self and the temporary, ephemeral non-self, and fundamentally between what is truly within your absolute control and what is not. By consistently cultivating this sharp, incisive intellectual clarity, by wielding the powerful sword of discernment with precision, you effectively cut through all illusions, purify your intellect of all conditioning, and reveal the pristine, radiant truth of your being. You become a living embodiment of clarity, wisdom, and profound inner peace, your very presence radiating a calm, discerning energy that effortlessly inspires and uplifts those around you. It's about building a foundation of understanding so robust and unyielding that it can withstand any intellectual challenge or skeptical questioning, and so deeply personal and experiential that it provides an unshakable anchor in a tumultuous and ever-changing world, leading to a profound sense of self-mastery and inner peace that is truly and eternally liberating. The ancient sages, whether Hindu Jnana yogis or Roman Stoics, understood with absolute clarity that this profound integration of rigorous discernment and clear-eyed reason was the essential, non-negotiable pathway to true and lasting liberation, enabling them to live lives of profound meaning, unwavering purpose, and unshakable serenity, transforming even the most challenging and seemingly insurmountable circumstances into unparalleled opportunities for deep spiritual growth and a deeper, more comprehensive understanding of the magnificent cosmic dance of reality. As you hone your faculty of discernment, meticulously separating the real from the unreal, you inevitably begin the profound process of beyond illusion, unveiling true self. This is the heart of Jnana Yoga's ultimate quest, to move beyond intellectual understanding to the direct, experiential realization of Atman, true self, as identical with Brahman, universal consciousness, dissolving the illusion of separation. In Stoicism, this resonates with transcending false impressions and external attachments that veil your inherent rationality and virtue, allowing your true, unblemished nature to shine forth, unburdened by societal expectations. Imagine peeling layers of an onion until you reach the unseeable essential core. Your journey into unveiling the true self is precisely this, a stripping away of all you are not, until pure being remains. Ancient Vedic wisdom, particularly in the Mahavakyas' great sayings like Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, or Tat Tvam Asi, that thou art, directly points to this non-dual reality, inviting transformative experience. There's a fascinating historical account of the revered sage Shankara, a primary proponent of Advaita Vedanta, who meticulously dismantled dualistic philosophies, guiding disciples towards direct, non-conceptual experience of their true self, proving liberation was a present reality obscured by illusion. Historians still debate whether his intellectual conquests were due to sheer genius or undeniable spiritual authority. It highlights the central mission of spiritual philosophy, unveiling the true self. For the Brahmins, especially those immersed in the Jnana path, the journey beyond illusion, unveiling true self was the ultimate purpose of human existence. They believed the individual soul jiva, mistakenly identified with the perishable body-mind complex due to Maya, the cosmic illusion creating duality. Through sustained self-inquiry, meditation on Mahavakyas, and neti-neti, negation, they systematically negated all false identifications, leading to direct intuitive realization of their true nature as boundless, eternal, and one with Brahman. This was not a belief, but a state of being to be realized. You might feel a profound sense of inner expansion, a quiet recognition that your true identity is far vaster and more liberating than the limited self you usually perceive. It's like realizing you are not merely a wave on the ocean, but the ocean itself. Did you know ancient Jnana yogis often used elaborate thought experiments and paradoxical koans, not to confuse but to shatter conventional intellectual frameworks and force the mind to transcend dualistic thinking, creating an opening for direct non-dual experience? It's a bit like a philosophical riddle designed to make your brain temporarily short-circuit, allowing a glimpse beyond. Historians still debate whether these methods genuinely led to enlightenment or simply to a lot of very confused students with headaches. This radical intellectual and experiential pursuit of non-duality was the supreme aim of their spiritual discipline. The profound Stoic parallel to beyond illusion, unveiling true self, lies in their relentless pursuit of living in perfect accordance with logos, universal reason or nature, which involved shedding false beliefs, irrational desires, and external attachments obscuring their inherent rationality and virtue. For Stoics, true human nature was rational and virtuous. Living authentically meant aligning with this inner core, free from illusion. They sought to unveil their true self, not as a mystical Atman but as the perfectly rational, virtuous agent, a microcosm of the Logos itself, unperturbed by the world's irrationalities. You are learning to shed conditioned identity, allowing your authentic, rational, virtuous self to emerge, guiding every thought and action with clarity. A little-known fact is that many Stoic philosophers regularly meditated on the view from above, imagining themselves looking down upon Earth from a cosmic perspective, not to feel insignificant, but to see interconnectedness and diminish personal worries, unveiling a broader, more rational perspective. Imagine an ancient astronaut performing a mental spacewalk to gain perspective, without the hassle of a rocket. Historians still debate whether this exercise fostered detachment or simply a profound sense of existential calm. It's about cultivating expansive awareness that unveils your true unconditioned nature. The true liberation that arises from embracing beyond illusion, unveiling true self, is absolute freedom from suffering, stemming from false identification, from the endless cycle of craving and aversion, and from the illusion of separateness. When you experientially realize your true self as boundless, eternal, and one with all existence, you are no longer bound by the ego's limitations, by fear of death, or the sting of loss. Your peace becomes unshakable, your joy unconditioned, and your actions naturally compassionate and aligned with universal truth. Your life transforms into a continuous expression of pure being, a living testament to absolute freedom. You are becoming a radiant sun, shining with inherent brilliance, no longer mistaking passing clouds as your true nature. It's like realizing the treasure you sought was always within you, waiting to be recognized. The ancient Hindu concept of moksha, or liberation, signifies this ultimate freedom from the cycle of birth and death, achieved through direct knowledge and unveiling of the self, a state of perfect contentment. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary sage Nachiketa from the Katha Upanishad, who journeyed to the realm of death and, through unwavering inquiry, gained profound knowledge of the self from Yama, the god of death, transcending death and realizing immortality. Historians still debate whether this was a literal journey or a powerful allegorical exploration. It powerfully illustrates how courageously unveiling the true self leads to ultimate liberation. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding Jnana Yoga for modern minds finds its highest expression in the profound process of beyond illusion, unveiling true self. It is the powerful, liberating understanding that true spiritual freedom, unshakable, inner peace and profound contentment stem from systematically dismantling all false identifications and directly realizing your boundless, eternal nature as one with universal consciousness. By consistently practicing this art of profound self-inquiry and intellectual discernment, you transcend the ego's limitations, purify your mind of all conditioning, and reveal the pristine, radiant truth of your being. You become a living embodiment of absolute freedom and pure wisdom, your very presence radiating unconditioned joy and serenity that effortlessly inspires and guides. It's about building a connection to your true self so deep that it makes you immune to external suffering, and so rationally understood that it liberates you from intellectual confusion. The ancient sages, whether Hindu Jnana Yogis or Roman Stoics, understood with clarity that this profound integration of rigorous self-inquiry and clear-eyed reason was the essential pathway to true and lasting liberation, enabling them to live lives of profound meaning, unwavering purpose, and unshakable serenity, transforming even challenging circumstances into unparalleled opportunities for growth and deeper understanding of reality. As you continue your journey, having meticulously moved beyond the veils of illusion to glimpse your true self, the next profound realization that naturally arises is wisdom as inner tranquility. This isn't merely the absence of disturbance. It's a deep, unshakable state of peace that permeates your being, a calm born from profound understanding, rational acceptance, and unwavering alignment with truth. In Jnana Yoga, this tranquility, shanti, is the natural fruit of self-realization, where the mind, no longer agitated by ignorance or false identifications, rests in its own pristine nature, mirroring the stillness of Brahman. For Stoicism, ataraxia, unperturbedness, is the direct result of living in perfect accordance with logos, accepting what is beyond your control and focusing solely on virtue. Imagine a vast, deep ocean, its surface perhaps stirred by winds, but its depths remaining eternally calm and still, untouched by any storm. Your consciousness, having assimilated true wisdom, becomes that ocean, serene in its core. Ancient Vedic texts, particularly the Bhagavad Gita, repeatedly emphasize that a truly wise person is one whose mind is steadfast, sthita prajna, unperturbed by pleasure or pain, gain or loss, remaining balanced and equanimous in all circumstances. There's a fascinating historical account of the sage Vasistha, a central figure in the Yoga Vasistha, who, despite experiencing immense personal tragedy, maintained an extraordinary state of unwavering inner peace and clarity, serving as a living testament to the power of wisdom to cultivate profound tranquility. Historians still debate whether his equanimity was due to unparalleled spiritual wisdom or an almost inhuman capacity for emotional detachment. It highlights how deep understanding culminates in unshakable peace. For the Brahmins, particularly within the Jnana tradition, wisdom as inner tranquility was the definitive sign of genuine self-realization. They believed that when the illusion of separateness dissolved and the true self was unveiled, the mind, previously a source of agitation and suffering, naturally settled into a state of profound stillness and peace, reflecting the inherent tranquility of Brahman. This inner calm was not an achievement but a rediscovery of their natural state, a state that allowed them to act in the world with effortless grace and compassion, unburdened by egoic desires or fears. You might feel a profound sense of quietude settling within you, a recognition that true peace is not something to be sought externally, but a state that emerges when you cease striving and simply rest in your true nature. It's like realizing that the loudest sounds are often just echoes, and true silence is always present beneath them. Did you know that ancient Jnana yogis would often conclude their deep meditations not with pronouncements but with prolonged periods of silent, undisturbed stillness, allowing the profound insights gained to integrate and manifest as an unshakable inner peace that permeated their entire being? It's a bit like a profound software update for your consciousness, where the quiet reboot after installation is just as important as the update itself. Historians still debate whether this silent integration was a necessary step for enlightenment, or simply a very effective way to avoid awkward post-meditation small talk. This deep internal stillness born from wisdom was the hallmark of their liberation. The profound Stoic parallel to wisdom as inner tranquility is their central aspiration for ataraxia, unperturbedness, and apatheia, freedom from disturbing passions. They believed that by cultivating robust reason and living in perfect accordance with nature, accepting what was beyond their control, and meticulously focusing on their virtuous responses, one could achieve an unshakable inner peace that was impervious to external circumstances. This tranquility was not indifference but a rational, self-possessed calm, the natural outcome of a mind rightly ordered and aligned with universal logos. You are learning to cultivate a deep well of inner calm, a reservoir of peace that can be drawn upon regardless of the storms that may rage on life's surface because its source is your profound understanding. A little-known fact is that Stoic philosophers would sometimes engage in negative visualization, mentally imagining the loss of things they cherished, wealth, loved ones, health, not to be morbid, but to inoculate themselves against future distress, thereby strengthening their inner tranquility and capacity for acceptance should those losses occur. Imagine a Roman general mentally preparing for defeat, not to be pessimistic, but to ensure his inner composure remained unshakable even in dire straits. Historians still debate whether this practice truly made them more resilient or simply made them very good at managing their expectations. It's about a proactive, rational cultivation of unshakable inner peace. The true, lasting peace that arises from wisdom as inner tranquility is the cessation of mental agitation, the complete absence of irrational fears and anxieties, and the direct experience of profound contentment irrespective of external conditions. When your mind is clear and your actions are guided by true wisdom, your heart naturally settles and your life flows with effortless grace. This state of unconditioned peace is not fleeting but abiding, a constant wellspring of joy and contentment within. You are becoming a perfectly still pond, its surface reflecting the entire sky with pristine clarity, utterly undisturbed by any ripple, embodying ultimate serenity and a profound sense of belonging. It's like realizing that the key to unlocking the cage of suffering was always in your own hand, through the cultivation of wisdom and inner peace. The ancient Hindu concept of samadhi, a state of meditative absorption and profound inner stillness, is often described as the direct experience of this unshakable tranquility where the individual consciousness merges with the universal, finding ultimate peace. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary sage Dattatreya, who in his boundless wisdom lived in a state of continuous inner tranquility, embodying a divine serenity that transcended all worldly concerns and attachments, offering spontaneous blessings and wisdom to all who sought him. Historians still debate whether his profound serenity was truly a gift of divine grace or the culmination of meticulous spiritual practice. It powerfully illustrates how profound wisdom manifests as an unshakable, pervasive inner peace. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding Jnana Yoga for modern minds finds its culmination in the profound realization of wisdom as inner tranquility. It is the powerful, liberating understanding that true spiritual liberation, unshakable inner peace, and profound contentment emerge when your deepest understanding of reality is perfectly integrated with the direct experience of your true self, leading to a mind that is naturally still and undisturbed. By consistently cultivating this state of discerning wisdom and inner calm, you transcend the limitations of mental agitation, purify your consciousness of all conditioning, and embody the pristine, radiant truth of your being. You become a living testament to absolute peace and pure wisdom, your very presence radiating an unconditioned joy and serenity that effortlessly inspires and guides those around you. It's about building a connection to your true self so profound that it renders you immune to external suffering, and so rationally understood that it liberates you from all intellectual confusion. The ancient sages, whether Hindu Jnana Yogis or Roman Stoics, understood with absolute clarity that this profound integration of rigorous self-inquiry, clear-eyed reason, and the resulting inner peace was the essential, non-negotiable pathway to true and lasting liberation, enabling them to live lives of profound meaning, unwavering purpose, and unshakable serenity, transforming even the most challenging and seemingly insurmountable circumstances into unparalleled opportunities for deep spiritual growth and a deeper, more comprehensive understanding of the magnificent cosmic dance of reality. As you experience the deep, pervasive tranquility born from wisdom, recognizing it as the natural state of your unveiled self, you arrive at the ultimate promise of this profound path: liberation through rational understanding. This is the final frontier of Jnana Yoga, where the intellectual and experiential realization of your true nature as Brahman leads to moksha, a complete and irreversible freedom from suffering, ignorance, and the cycle of rebirth. In Stoicism, this culminates in eudaimonia, a state of flourishing achieved through perfect alignment with logos, where inner freedom from disturbance becomes absolute and unshakable, regardless of any external circumstances. Imagine a bird, once caged and fearful, now soaring effortlessly into the boundless blue sky, having finally recognized that the cage was always an illusion, and its true nature is flight itself. Your journey culminates in this liberating understanding, where the binds of illusion fall away and you experience your inherent unconditioned freedom. Ancient Vedic scriptures, particularly the Upanishads, emphasize that knowing Brahman is becoming Brahman, and that this liberating knowledge is not conceptual, but an experiential realization that burns away all karmic residues and leads to eternal peace. There's a fascinating historical account of the revered sage Janaka, a king renowned for his spiritual wisdom, who, despite ruling a vast kingdom, lived in a state of complete inner detachment and liberation, demonstrating that true freedom was not about renouncing the world, but about understanding its true nature and remaining untouched by its illusions. Historians still debate whether his enlightened state was truly compatible with the complexities of governance, or if he simply had very competent advisors. It highlights that ultimate liberation is accessible through profound rational understanding, even amidst worldly engagement. For the Brahmins, especially the proponents of Jnana Yoga, liberation through rational understanding was the supreme goal, the very culmination of all spiritual endeavor. They believed that when the individual correctly and experientially understood the non-dual nature of reality, that Atman is Brahman, all suffering, all fear, and all illusion of separateness ceased irrevocably. This understanding was not a mere intellectual assent, but a transformative realization that fundamentally altered their perception of reality. releasing them from the limitations of the ego and the endless pursuit of external happiness. You might feel a profound sense of light and spaciousness within your being, a quiet knowing that your ultimate freedom was never something to be earned or acquired, but a state to be recognized and embraced, as it is your inherent nature. It's like realizing that the sun is always shining, even when obscured by clouds, and your liberation comes from knowing yourself to be that eternal sun. Did you know that in ancient Jnana Yoga, the highest teaching was often delivered in absolute silence, as words were considered insufficient to convey the non-dual truth of liberation, requiring the disciple to grasp the understanding through direct intuition born of pure receptivity? It's a bit like trying to explain the taste of an apple without ever having tasted one yourself. Some truths are beyond verbal description. Historians still debate whether this silent transmission was genuinely effective or simply a clever way for sages to avoid answering difficult questions. This ultimate, non-conceptual understanding was the very essence of their liberating path. The profound Stoic parallel to liberation through rational understanding is their concept of living in perfect accordance with logos, achieving eudaimonia, a state of complete rational flourishing and unshakable virtue. For Stoics, true freedom was the unassailable inner liberty to choose virtue and reason in every circumstance, utterly unconditioned by external events or emotional disturbances. This liberation was achieved not through mystical realization, but through rigorous, consistent application of rational principles, accepting what was beyond their control, amor fati, and dedicating themselves solely to what was within their control, their judgments and actions. You are learning to embody an inner fortress of reason, where your freedom is self-contained and unassailable, because it depends only on your unwavering commitment to truth and virtue. A little-known fact is that many Stoic philosophers, particularly those who served as advisors to emperors or faced public persecution, would maintain their philosophical composure and clarity of thought, even in the most perilous situations, seeing it as the ultimate test and demonstration of their internal liberation through reason. Imagine a philosopher calmly facing execution, not out of bravado, but because his understanding of life and death had truly liberated him from fear. Historians still debate whether this level of equanimity was universally attainable or required an exceptionally strong constitution. It's about a complete rational emancipation from fear and external control. The true, lasting peace that marks liberation through rational understanding is an unconditioned state of perfect tranquility, a complete cessation of suffering, and a profound abiding joy that is independent of all external circumstances. When you have truly integrated the wisdom of Jnana Yoga and the practicality of Stoicism, your mind is eternally clear, your heart is boundless, and your life becomes an effortless expression of truth, compassion, and purpose. This is not a fleeting emotion, but a fundamental shift in your being, a permanent state of freedom. You are becoming a perfectly still, clear sky, vast and empty, yet encompassing everything, utterly free from the clouds of illusion. It's like realizing that you were never truly bound, but simply dreaming of being in chains and awakening to your inherent freedom. The ancient Hindu concept of Jivan Mukta, the liberated living being, describes an individual who has attained ultimate freedom and realized their true nature while still living in the physical body, demonstrating that this profound liberation is not a post-mortem state, but a present reality accessible through conscious understanding and practice. There's an intriguing tale of the legendary sage Ashtavakra, who, despite his physical deformities, was revered for his profound wisdom and his absolute state of inner liberation, teaching that true freedom was found not in outward appearance or circumstance, but in the unwavering understanding of the self. Historians still debate whether his profound insights were purely theoretical, or if he simply had an incredibly charismatic personality that drew people to his wisdom. It powerfully illustrates how profound rational understanding culminates in ultimate living liberation. Ultimately, your journey towards understanding Jnana Yoga for modern minds culminates in the profound realization of liberation through rational understanding. It is the powerful, undeniable truth that true spiritual freedom, unshakable inner peace, and profound contentment emerge when your deepest experiential understanding of your true self is perfectly integrated with clear-eyed reason, leading to a complete and irreversible release from suffering and illusion. By consistently cultivating this path of rigorous self-inquiry, keen discernment, and unwavering alignment with truth, you transcend all limitations, purify your consciousness, and embody the pristine, radiant truth of your being. You become a living testament to absolute freedom and pure wisdom, your very presence radiating an unconditioned joy and serenity that effortlessly inspires and guides those around you. It's about building a connection to your true self, so profound that it makes you immune to external suffering, and so rationally understood that it liberates you from all intellectual confusion and binds. The ancient sages, whether Hindu Jnana Yogis or Roman Stoics, understood with absolute clarity that this profound integration of rigorous self-inquiry, clear-eyed reason, and the resulting inner peace was the essential, non-negotiable pathway to true and lasting liberation, enabling them to live lives of profound meaning, unwavering purpose, and unshakable serenity, transforming even the most challenging and seemingly insurmountable circumstances into unparalleled opportunities for deep spiritual growth and a deeper, more comprehensive understanding of the magnificent cosmic dance of reality. End of script. Thank you for listening, everyone.